Hey guys, it's Miss Miners, day 17. So yesterday we started our next text set, and this text set talks about facing challenges and having courage when we face those challenges. So actually yesterday's story was called Courage, and in yesterday's story we saw a bunch of different characters in that story facing different challenges and why it took courage for them to overcome those challenges. And on one of those pages, if you remember, there were people riding a roller coaster. Why do you think it might take courage to ride a roller coaster? And that's going to be important for today's story. And today's story is actually called Roller Coaster. And again, this is a text from our Interactive Read Aloud kit by Fountas Pinnell. And today's author and illustrator is Marla Frazee. Okay, so I want you to really look at the people's faces on this roller coaster. I want you to think about all of the different feelings you might have if you're getting on the roller coaster. Whether it be your first time, or your 10th time, or your 100th time, what kind of feelings do you think these people are feeling? So in today's story, someone is riding this roller coaster for the very first time. I wonder how they're feeling. And how might you feel if you're riding a roller coaster for the very first time? And what does that have to do with courage and being brave? So as I read, I want you to think about why it might take courage to ride a roller coaster for the very first time. All of these people are waiting in line for the roller coaster. And on this page it says, what do you notice about the people waiting in line? I want you to look very closely. What do you notice about all the different people? Most of them have ridden on lots of roller coasters. Some of them have only ridden on a roller coaster once or twice. At least one of them has never ridden on a roller coaster before, ever. So on this page it says, which of these people do you think is waiting to ride for the very first time? Look closely. See if you can pick out which person is waiting to ride for the very first time. The roller coaster is very big and very noisy. Again, thinking about what this has to do with courage and being brave. You must be tall enough to ride it. But sometimes even those who are tall enough decide they don't want to. Lots of people change their mind about riding the roller coaster at the very last minute. So here our question says, why do you think the man decides not to ride? And what do you think about this? So if you see, this man over here is like, I changed my mind. He got all the way up to the front and he decided he didn't want to ride it anymore. What do you think changed? Has that ever happened to you before? Finally, it is time to get into the cars. The ride operator says, load 'em up, 2 to a seat. I think it also might be fun as I'm reading to visualize in your mind you actually getting on that roller coaster. So as I'm reading, if you want to close your eyes and really visualize, remember, take that picture in your brain and pretend like you're one of the riders on the roller coaster. When everyone is buckled in, the operator rings a bell and then he releases the brake. The train jerks forward on the tracks. Now it's too late for anyone to change their mind. So take a second, close your eyes, and visualize in your brain what it might sound like, what it might feel like, what it might smell like if you're in one of those cars on the roller coaster. I want you to look at the girl's face. What do you think she might be thinking? She's in the very first car. What do you think she might be thinking? Slowly the train is pulled up the hill by a chain. Clickety clackety, clickety clackety, up, up, up. And then whoosh! Most people scream. Some people can't make a sound. And one person can't even open her eyes. So I know when I ride roller coasters, I'm one of those people who tries to scream, but nothing comes out. And I get those little butterflies in my tummy as soon as we go down a hill. So I get really, really excited, and then it's like nothing comes out of my mouth because I'm so shocked and surprised whenever we go down the hill. I want you to look at the little girl's face. How do you think she's feeling? Do you think any of these people are showing that they have courage? And how do you think that? How are they showing us that they do have courage? The train zips. To visualize in your brain, how might that sound? The train zips. Think about how that sounds. It zooms. Why do you think the picture looks kind of slanted here? I think the illustrator did an awesome job of showing you exactly how the roller coaster is moving. Why do you think it's slanted? Think about that. As it says, it zooms. It dips and dives. Pay attention to how it's written on this page. How the words are written. It dips and dives. Why do you think the words are written sideways here? And goes all the way around. And this page I'm going to turn upside down so you can see. If you can read it, it says it goes all the way around. So it actually turns upside down. Have you ever ridden a roller coaster that goes upside down? Those can be pretty scary, and you definitely have to have courage to ride on those. Whee! Now the ride is over. And our question here says, it took courage for the girl to go on the ride. Do you think she's going to want to go again? Let's see how she's looking. I want you to stop here and make a prediction. A prediction is when we kind of make a guess. So based on what we've heard in the story already, and looking at the girl's face throughout the story, we're going to predict, make a guess. Do you think she's going to want to go on the ride again? Or do you think one time was enough? I want you to think about your prediction and let's see if you were right. Most of these people are dizzy. Some of them have wobbly knees. But at least one of them is planning to ride the roller coaster again. Let's see which one it is. Right now. So our last question, were you right about what the girl's gonna do? Was your prediction right? What do you think? Does this show us that she is gonna ride again or is not gonna ride again? And what tells you in this picture? What gives you a clue? And that's the end of our story. So this one was kind of a shorter story, and the text was written kind of differently. And I want you to think about, as you're answering those questions, why do you think the author, the writer, wrote the text kind of sideways and upside down sometimes, and in big letters and red letters? Why do you think the writer did that? And how did that kind of make the book more fun for us? And most importantly, how did this teach us about courage? I'll see you guys tomorrow for our third book of the week.